Good morning and a warm welcome back to the session. I'm not an expert in AI. I'm only invested in that space for 1.5 years. So it's an apologetic overview of AI in healthcare. So this naturally is not a deep dive. It is more like me waving a flashlight at a giant mountain and saying, let's climb this together. So what's happening right now? What is possible tomorrow? And where do we come in as future doctors? Just because you have ChatGPT in your hand, it doesn't make you an AI expert, nor will you be able to meaningfully contribute as a subject matter expert in your sector or in your field. A brief about why I entered AI. These algorithms, however rudimentary or however fundamental, however simple, were the first ones to find their way into trauma textbooks. So when AI entered the medical field, I was curious and I wanted to learn more. So for me, this isn't about technology. It's about evolving as a clinician and exploring the intersection of AI and clinical care. So have a look. Your patient is at the center. Let's have a look. Your patient is at the center. Now, for him to be healthy or to get away from disease, you need a whole lot of stakeholders. See, so many people are working there. So now you realize how complex this interplay is. Now, because it is complex, there are problems. Now, if you can try and get AI into some of the peripheral tasks, maybe we can concentrate on the core. Now, lot of hype in the media. The most one is one lady running for 7 years for a diagnosis of a spinal problem, another couple trying to conceive, and finally breast cancer screening Nature has published. Now, between these heartwarming anecdotes and reality, where are we? So now, if you see, the jump in literature has really had an exponential rise. So the expenditure or investment into AI. So you know there is something happening in the science and in the investments. So there is something to do with this and we need to have a look. Including India, you see a whole lot of money is being spent and India is among the world's fastest growing healthcare AI markets. Now, what are my objectives? Real clinical scenarios, I'll be just touching on them. Ethical dilemmas. Most important question, will AI replace doctors or empower them? And what can AI do and cannot do in medicine? And finally, your role. So look at AI. It has been going on from 1950s itself. It's not new. All along they were happening in the background and in the labs, but they opened into the general space in 2022 with ChatGPT and a whole lot of other LLMs came into the picture. So if you look at AI, everybody gets confused. There are so many things to take a lead from. Now, each sector or each person has a unique insight. As clinicians, you can use it to enhance your diagnosis, personalize treatment, and automate tasks. There are roles for other people who are also involved in the healthcare. So you become comfortable with this, become curious, become critical partners. Finally, you may be in the other parts of the sector. When did AI become popular in healthcare? What happened? Computational power went up. Big data started coming in and AI powered medical algorithms started getting developing at rocket speed. So this attention came in the 21st century. So all these processes which are going at breakneck speed are feeding each other to bring AI into the healthcare. So what is big data? Big data is in zettabytes. And if you see healthcare, it contributes to 30% of all data in the world. And this data can come from your records, it can come from your reports, from your wearables, from the GPUs, from regulators, and finally, your overwhelmed healthcare itself will try to bring AI to sort it out. So how this evolution from bench to bedside, it happened as pilot studies, operational systems were embedded, precision at scale, drug discovery, and a whole lot of things came and pushed this AI for the past decade. So now what is AI? A doctor-friendly breakdown. Now Dr. Mahapatra is going to hammer me for making his talk so simple and putting this easy diagram. It is nothing. It's data output, algorithms. You train the algorithms and finally get the prediction. And this diagram is not by me. It is by Eric Topol, who is a very famous AI expert and a cardiologist. So what is AI? Clinical examples, retinal screening, chest x-rays, workflows, etc. We'll come to it. So have a look. This is your fundus. This is your standard fundus picture. You apply AI, that is your computer vision. I'm not going to go much into the technicalities. You find that there are more areas inside also. See? So these are just heat maps or overlay images which will pick up deeper issues and draw the attention of the clinician. Now, when all this has started coming in, the government itself has decided to use these AI tools, which are well validated, into the public health space. Now, coming to CT scan, see, this is obviously a normal CT scan. Maybe for the expert, this may look suspicious, but otherwise it can get missed. Use your AI and you can find out that it is their heat map and it is projecting out. Now go back and see your image. Maybe there is one. So if you look at it, your AI is in fact increasing your intelligence, also increasing your visual capacity. So you train the AI, at times AI can train you. Now coming to this Cure AI, it's a platform for X-ray chest to read X-ray chest for TB especially and for lung cancer. Now it will not read pneumonia, it will not read cystic fibrosis. They are very, very clear cut in their outputs. So this TB is a public health problem, and recently it is there in the space, in the facilities, hospitals, but it was employed at the Kumbh Mela, where you have a big crowd gathering and you can easily use for screening. But same people, you cannot probably go and find them in the PHCs. But for that, you need something very simple. It is just a small X-ray portable machine, and into the laptop, it tells you whether there is TB or not. Now, look at this radiologist task. Radiologist task is not just looking at an X-ray. There are a whole lot of other things. Probably I could not enlarge this, but if you realize there's a lot of things, you will realize, will AI replace doctors? So radiologist task is analysis and interpretation, patient communication, oversight, safety and quality. But in all of this, you always have the human oversight. And in one, that is a patient communication, it is only the human oversight. Now coming to workflows, Tata Memorial had launched and they found out that data volume, they were able to do more scans, they were able to pick up patients with recurrence and reduced waiting time and documentation time. Not only that, they were able to bring in a whole lot of clinical intelligence by bringing down the number of CTs, by not giving chemotherapy to kids who don't need it based on the genomics. What do experts have to say? This is US. You have a whole lot of devices FDA approved or waiting for approval. And in India, you have the Cure AI and the diabetic retinopathy screening by Arvind Eye hospitals. Now, this is an interactive scenario. AI says no MI. ECG looks normal, but patient is diaphoretic. Would you override the AI and why? So this should spark critical thinking and AI trust. So what happens? Diaphoretic, you got a very big clue. So naturally, when do you have to override AI? Simple. When in doubt, override AI. Now coming to responsibility, everybody is saying clinicians are responsible. Yes, this statement was okay, 2018. But slowly the AI developers have been brought in with some responsibility. They just cannot develop anything and throw into the system. So they started, and now They are almost 50% they are responsible for AI. Now the ethical dilemma, why it happens? In bias, because your training data was not inclusive. Lack of transparency in deep learning models. Have a look. If this is your CNN, that is your convoluted neural network, looking at so many factors, giving so much of weight, half the time, sometimes you yourself don't know how these models are working, and they are called black boxes. Now, patient leak was there, records were leaked in the NHS twice. This is just to show you how complex things are under the hood. This is your algorithm. This is your convoluted neural networks. Now, what are the hurdles? Hurdles will be your mindset and culture. That is there anywhere. That will be the first hurdle. Then you'll have regulatory hurdles. You'll have patient safety and ethics. And finally, financial and logistical constraints. Now, if you look at them as separate compartments, they will look very easy. You will try to sort it out. No, they are interconnected. Because there's no validation. So clinicians will think, why do I employ it? There is no responsibility. Clinicians will not stick their head into it. Similarly, clinicians will say we cannot have finance because their main thing is that they are not trusting it. So many things, strategic and regulatory hurdles. Now, what about India? Yes, it has launched the AI in diagnostics. There is a government push coming. Remote access, yes, it helps in a lot. I'm not going to go into the details. Upskilling doctors, NMC has made no official communication, but Niti Aayog director has said it's going to help. There are institutes like AIMS, MAMC and Manipal who have their own AI forums or even departments for AI. Who are the regulators? Look at the regulators. There are quite a few in India, and you must know what they are regulating. Some of them may overlap. Otherwise, you think everything is ICMR. No, it is not. There are a whole lot of other regulators also. Some of the regulators might say, go and get the first clearance from ICMR and then come to me when you're launching AI products. So, Prime Minister Modi has made a statement. Rajendra Pratap Gupta, who's the chairman of Digital Health Sciences, Indian Association of Professional Bodies have come out with their statement. You have IIT, the tech guys, then finally you have the industry giants trying to talk for AI. And then finally the WHO has included India's statement in their bulletin. Now, what can AI and cannot do in medicine? AI can spot patterns. It can say this person with so many factors is likely to get a surgical site infection. It can even assist triage. A pulse rate of more than 120, there is a serious issue. Optimize workflows. Somebody goes for an X-ray chest, then the reports are there. The reports have to get embedded in the EHR. Whole lot of things. You need not individually sit and do it. But it can't show empathy and make context-based choices. That is very important. Now, will AI replace doctors or empower them? Most important question nagging students and faculty. AI won't replace doctors, but doctors using AI will replace those who don't. This is by Bertland, Mexico. Now, my take is, doctors using AI will not replace. The ones not using AI will be struggling when others are gliding through. So AI is a tool, not a replacement. It augments doctors' ability and reduces burden. Now coming to learning and AI, if you look at the brain, there are a whole lot of things which are needed for learning. Concepts are here. What AI can do in visual perception, auditory processing, facial thing, or language comprehension. It can do only a few. The next deeper ones, it can do a few. There are a few where it cannot touch at all as far as human intelligence goes. So this has been compressed. Largely achieved by AI is your visual perception. Perception, either language or hearing. It has even surpassed. Partially at least some little bit of reasoning and understanding. Now, coming to significant gaps remain where in empathy, self-awareness, cognitive flexibility, which is a very, very human trait. And AI lacks the underlying understanding, consciousness, or emotional depth. So, modern AI isn't magic. It's just centuries of mathematics scaled by computation and data. See, things have started from very tiny bits of mathematics, trigonometry, linear algebra, finally computation, regression model, pure mathematics. Oh, a lot of things. Have a look. Lot of things have gone in to make AI what it is today. Now, AI literacy, who should learn what? Again, we are coming back to this. Now, most of us are going to be subject matter expert because we are going to bring in the subject into the AI, which is your medical science. What do they need to know? They need to know AI value, little bit of AI foundations. They need not know much about AI engineering and governance. But look at the executives. They need to know a lot of AI value. And an AI expert, he needs to know very deep about the foundations and the engineering. So if you know you're here, you will know exactly what I need to do, and you will not go jump in here and take courses here. So now there was an MIT study where it was pointed out that students using ChatGPT for essays had a lot of memory problems. They could not recollect. And similarly, Lancet about some colonoscopies. They could not, when the AI was taken off, they could not identify. So de-skilling is a possibility. Now, have a look. This is a very important diagram. This is a novice, and he has gone through all the hard tasks and he has become expert now. But a novice is starting here and another novice is starting here. Now let's see where AI entered their scenes. Now when the novice, with the expert, when the AI came, it only pushed him into higher level of critical thinking. But when the AI entered a novice who had almost become competent, it did not much. Okay, it helped, but it can de-skill. Now, look at a novice who has entered after AI came in. Very little of advanced learning will be there. It will be more bothered about de-skilling whatever skill you picked up here. This is a very important diagram. So now, if you're clueless in your field, AI won't help you lead. It will just help you make the wrong decisions faster, louder, and at scale. Because AI is not a substitute for expertise. It simply accelerates your thinking, whether it is right or wrong, or wildly wrong. So how do you prevent cognitive decline? Again by Andreas Horn, he's IBM Watson VC. And there is one by a neuropsychiatrist, very well known. They say, keep thinking. Use the brain that you have got. Keep thinking. Then add and minus. Do all sorts of things. Finally go to AI. You will realize 80% of the time you did think about it. Only thing is you didn't have the patience. And you can also get new ideas from the AI. So there are advocacy and guardrails. This is put in by people who are leaders in AI. This is Stephen Klein. He says the trick with technology is to avoid spreading darkness at the speed of light. And just like any other technology, you need to have a learning curve. So now what happens? There are teachers, there are students. AI will amplify experts. Their read speed and efficiency will go up, and students will be transferred by their daily learning companion. So this is how AI helps these two people separately. Now, will digital health, again, will AI replace physicians? We are going to the question again. If you look at it, AI is being used partially here. Now, in the near future, where AI is going to help tremendously, maybe in psychiatry, in emergency medicine, they will be heavily dependent, but still you need a human oversight. So, what I want to again stress, In this time of AI being thrown all over the world, every real patient, no matter how routine or boring the case may seem, offers you a unique opportunity to refine your clinical skills, whether it's listening, observing, examining, or simply learning to connect. The real art of medicine is built case by case and patient by patient. So there are some few learning sites for AI in healthcare. They are all free. I've taken everything. I've taken all free courses. I've not spent money. You have a few courses, and then you have my core. I run classes on YouTube as well as in LinkedIn. I share my knowledge. You can use the QR codes.